At the beginning of the film, we see a group of children in a village getting ready to play in the fields. Before they leave, Abdi's father warns them to return home before it gets dark. The children agree and run off happily, not knowing that this simple evening of play is going to turn into something terrifying. They spend many hours playing together, and slowly, the sky begins to darken. One by one, the children return to their homes, but Abdi and his friends still want to continue playing. While they are playing, their ball suddenly rolls deep into the fields. By this time, evening has almost turned into night. Abdi feels something is wrong and tells his friend that they should go back home. But his friend refuses to leave without the ball and walks into the field to search for it. As he goes deeper, the ball suddenly disappears. Darkness spreads around the field, and when the boy moves forward to look carefully, he sees the ball in the hands of a young girl. But this girl does not look normal. Her face is strange and frightening, almost like the face of a demon. Even after seeing her, Abdi's friend is not scared. He only wants his ball back, so he follows the girl. Abdi keeps calling him and tries to stop him, but his friend does not listen. A few moments later, Abdi comes out of the fields and sees something horrifying. The strange girl has caught his friend, and before Abdi can do anything, she kills him by smashing his head with a stone. Seeing this, Abdi runs back to the village in panic. He shouts for help and tells everyone what happened. The villagers believe his fear and follow him to search for his friend. But when they reach the place where Abdi saw the attack, the boy is not there anymore. After searching around, they finally find the child's dead body lying on a stone in the river. Everyone becomes terrified after seeing this brutal death. However, the dead boy's father refuses to believe Abdi's story. Since Abdi was the last person seen with his son, he thinks Abdi killed the child and created this story to hide his crime. Before Abdi can be punished for something he did not do, a respected member of a powerful family in the village steps forward. He takes Abdi's side and says that he believes the boy. According to him, Abdi is telling the truth, and this murder was done by Kumala. The villagers are shocked because most of them do not know who Kumala is. Then the man begins to reveal the terrifying story behind her. 29 years ago, the richest man in the village, Sojiman, had no children. Because of this, his uncle wanted to take control of all his land. The uncle believed that since Sojiman had no heir, the land should go to his own children instead. When Sojiman heard this, he became furious. He went inside his house and threatened his wife, saying that if she did not give birth to a child within 1 year, he would marry another woman. His wife was deeply hurt after hearing this. Soon after, she learned about an old woman who was known for helping people have children. It sounded strange and dangerous, but her desire for a child was stronger than her fear. Sojiman's wife went to meet the old woman with one of her maids. As soon as she arrived, she told the woman that she wanted a child. The old woman agreed to help her, but she warned her clearly that this was not normal treatment. The old woman explains that she does everything through black magic, and for her rituals, she takes help from a demon. She says that Sojiman's wife will get a child, but in return, she must accept a sacrifice. The old woman tells her that she will give birth to 2 daughters. One daughter will truly belong to her, but the other will belong to the devil. One child will have a good heart, while the other will have a devilish nature. She also gives one strict warning. The daughter of the devil must never be harmed in any way. If they hurt that child, everything in their lives will be destroyed. At that moment, Sojiman's wife is desperate only for a child. So without thinking about the consequences, she agrees to everything the old woman says. The old woman then performs a dark ritual. She mixes strange ingredients into blood, gives it to Sojiman's wife, and makes her drink it. After that, she tells her that within 2 months she will receive good news. 2 months pass, and the ritual truly works. Sojiman's wife becomes pregnant. Sojiman is overjoyed and proudly asks people to spread the news across the village. Meanwhile, his wife already knows that she is going to have 2 daughters. She begins thinking about names for them. She decides to name one child Kumala and the other Kumala. Time passes, and the day finally arrives for the birth of Sojiman's daughters. But during this moment, a dark presence is also seen in the room, as if the demon itself is waiting there. The first daughter is born, but there is no movement in her body. Everyone realizes that the baby is dead. A few moments later, the second daughter is born, and everyone is shocked by her appearance. The second baby's face is deformed and disfigured. The moment Sojimon sees her, he becomes furious. In anger, he goes out, brings a knife, and tries to kill his own daughter. His wife desperately tries to stop him because she remembers the deal she made with the demon. She knows they must not harm this child under any circumstances. But Sojimon knows nothing about the deal. In his rage, he stabs the baby and kills her. The moment that child dies, the first baby, who was believed to be dead, suddenly comes back to life and starts crying. Hearing the baby's cry, Sojimon becomes extremely happy. He goes outside and proudly tells the villagers that he has a daughter. But after a few years, they discover that the child is not completely healthy. One side of her body is paralyzed. The right side of her body, including her hand and leg, does not function properly. They name this child Kumala. Later, we learn that Sojimon himself had a similar condition when he was young, but after therapy, he became normal. Because of this, they decide to give Kumala the same kind of treatment. They take Kumala to a therapist, hoping that she will recover like her father did. But no matter what they try, the therapy has no effect on her. One day, Kumala is seen riding a bicycle. When her mother stops her from doing it, Kumala suddenly becomes angry for no clear reason. She behaves badly with her mother, and Sojimon becomes furious after seeing this. He grabs Kumala and throws her into her room. Inside, Kumala begins banging her head like a mad person. It looks as if something has possessed her, but her family does not understand the truth. They simply believe that Kumala is mentally unstable. Sojimon is unable to accept a daughter like her. He does not want to treat her as his own child. Because of this, he makes a cruel decision and locks Kumala inside a dungeon. Years pass, and even after all that time, Kumala receives no real love from anyone. Not from the villagers, not from her father, and not even from her own mother. These people continued to keep Kumala locked inside the same dungeon. Every time Kumala's mother saw this cruelty, it hurt her deeply, because she remembered the promise she had made during the deal with the devil. In that deal, she had promised to raise both daughters with love. But one daughter was killed as soon as she was born, and the other daughter was now being treated worse than a prisoner. One day, Kumala somehow escapes from the dungeon and reaches the market. Many children are playing there, and the moment they see Kumala, they begin making fun of her damaged hand and leg. They throw balls at her, beat her, and even smear mud on her face. Kumala feels completely humiliated. At the same time, Sojimon and his wife pass through the market and see everything happening to their own daughter. But even after seeing Kumala being insulted and hurt, they do nothing to stop it. Instead, Sojimon sends a servant to bring Kumala back home. After Kumala returns, Sojimon beats her brutally with a whip, because he had always forbidden her from going outside. Kumala cries in pain, but her father shows no mercy. There is only one person in that house who truly loves Kumala. Her name is Sum, and she is the maid of Sojimon's wife. Sum tries to save Kumala, but she is powerless in front of Sojimon. After Sojimon leaves, Sum gently applies medicine to Kumala's wounded back. She comforts her, tries to calm her down, and asks her to play the piano so that her mind can feel a little peaceful. Sum also gives Kumala a doll that she made for her. It was Kumala's birthday that day, but no one else in the family remembered it. Only Sum cared enough to make her feel loved. That night, Kumala goes to sleep, but around midnight, she suddenly hears a knocking sound from inside her cupboard. When the door opens, the spirit of Sumala comes out. Sumala is Kumala's twin sister, the same child who was killed by their father right after birth. Kumala becomes terrified after seeing her spirit, but Sumala comes closer and hugs her. She tells Kumala not to be afraid because she will never harm her. Sumala says that Kumala is her sister, and their father killed her as soon as she was born. Now, the same father is also torturing Kumala. Sumala promises that she will take revenge for everything that happened to them. After saying this, her spirit begins laughing in a strange and disturbing way, as if she is already planning something terrible. At that moment, even Sumala's reflection is not visible in the mirror. This proves that what Kumala is seeing is not a normal person, but a dark spirit. The next day, Kumala is playing the piano, but instead of appreciating her, Sojimon becomes irritated by the sound. He gets so angry that he walks toward her and slaps her. Kumala's mother is also sitting there, but once again, she says nothing. She does not defend Kumala, and she does not even try to calm Sojimon down. This shows that Kumala's mother also does not truly love her the way she should. Later, when Sum tries to encourage Kumala and tells her to stay strong, something strange happens. Kumala's body suddenly changes and she stands up normally. Until now, Kumala was not able to walk properly, but at this moment, she begins walking like a normal person. She goes straight to her father's study room. When she enters the room, she picks up a pen and taps it against her father's hand. Sojimon is shocked to see his daughter standing and walking properly. But instead of feeling happy, his anger becomes even worse because Kumala has dared to behave like this with him. However, the truth is, Kumala is not the one doing these things. All of this is being done by Sumala's spirit. But unfortunately, Kumala is the one who has to suffer the punishment for it. Sojimon ties Kumala to a cross and hangs her outside in the village under the burning sun. Kumala suffers helplessly, but no one comes forward to save her. Now, Sumala decides to take revenge for this cruelty. That night, during dinner, Kumala is brought to eat with the family, but once again, Sumala's spirit possesses her. Kumala begins behaving strangely at the dining table, removing her clothes and doing disturbing things in front of everyone. Kumala's mother becomes furious at first, but when she looks into the mirror, she sees the truth. It is Sumala's spirit that is forcing Kumala to do all of this. After seeing this, Kumala's mother becomes terrified. Sum tries to take Kumala away from the dining room, but Kumala breaks free and runs toward the farms. There, she starts eating raw chicken in a horrifying way. After some time, when Kumala finally comes back to her senses, Sum asks her why she is doing all these things. Kumala then tells her the truth. She says that she is not doing any of this by herself. All of these terrible things are happening because of Sumala's spirit. Kumala's mother also hears this conversation, and fear begins to take over her. She now understands that she has broken the deal she made with the demon. She remembers the old woman's warning. If the devil's daughter was harmed, then everything connected to their family would be destroyed. Kumala's mother knows that if anyone can help her fix this situation, it is only the same old woman who performed the ritual years ago. So she goes near the river to meet that woman. But the man who helps people cross the river tells her that the old woman died 1 month ago. Now, Kumala's mother becomes completely helpless. Out of fear, she tells everything to her maid, Sum. She reveals that she used a demon's help to become pregnant. She admits that she made a deal with a demon and then broke that deal. Now, because of that broken promise, something terrible is going to happen to their family. Time passes, and even after many years, Kumala continues to suffer in the same house. Her family still treats her with cruelty, and no one gives her the love she deserves. Sum once again asks her master, Sojimon, to stop torturing Kumala, but Sojimon refuses to listen. He says that Kumala is becoming more ill-mannered day by day, and because of that, she must be punished. Even after all these punishments, Sum stays by Kumala's side. She tells Kumala that she belongs to her, and that she loves her no matter how she looks or behaves. After hearing this, Kumala's love and respect for Sum becomes even stronger. At the same time, her hatred and distance from her parents keeps growing. The next day, the same children who insulted Kumala in the market come to tease her again. They pretend that they want to play with her and call her downstairs. But once Kumala comes out, they start making fun of her again. They smear mud on her face, hit her with a ball, laugh at her, and then run away. Sum sees this and chases the children away. But Kumala's parents stand at a distance and silently watch everything. Once again, they do nothing to protect their own daughter. Instead, they punish Kumala for coming outside. Her parents lock her back inside the dungeon as if she is the one who did something wrong. That night, Kumala's mother hears strange sounds coming from the dark room. She becomes worried and wants to go check what is happening. But Sojimon stops her and tells her to sit down. He says that all of this is just her imagination. However, Kumala's mother is right. something terrible is happening inside the dungeon. Sumala's spirit has possessed Kumala again, and this time, Kumala frees herself. She takes a dagger and walks out of the dungeon. Then she moves toward the fields, and behind her, Sumala's dark spirit follows silently. Kumala first goes to the child who had made fun of her disability. When the boy sees Kumala walking normally, with Sumala's spirit standing behind her, he freezes in fear. Before he can run back to his house, Kumala catches him from behind. She takes the dagger in her hand, stabs him in the waist, and kills him. After that, Kumala goes after his other two friends, who are still outside at night. First, she terrifies them. Then she mocks them the same way they mocked her. Finally, she attacks both of them and kills them brutally. The next morning, the parents of the 3 missing children, along with the entire village, begin searching for them. But no matter where they look, the children are nowhere to be found. The villagers then decide that the next day, they will go to another village and search for the children there. Until then, they order every child in the village not to step outside after sunrise. Because of this warning, all the other children hide inside their houses. While they are talking, they assume that maybe the missing children are just trying to scare them. But while they are still discussing this, Kumala suddenly appears and places a ball nearby. Then she picks up the ball and takes it outside. Seeing this, all the children come out of the house to get the ball. One of them notices the dagger in Kumala's hand, but they still do not understand the danger. The moment they come outside, Kumala attacks them. She kills all the children brutally, one after another, without showing any mercy. The next morning, the villagers begin finding the dead bodies of the children. One body is hidden under leaves near the well, while another body is discovered inside the well itself. When Sum tries to take water from the well, she sees blood mixed in the water. This proves that one of the children's bodies is inside. Soon, the villagers find the remaining bodies lying in the fields. Their heads have been separated from their bodies, and the heads are placed on a stick, one above another, like beads. Seeing this horrifying scene, everyone becomes terrified, including Sojiman. But near the dead bodies, they also find Kumala's doll. Because of this, the villagers begin suspecting that either Kumala or her father is behind all these murders. They immediately go to Sojiman's house for answers. When the villagers confront him, Sojiman asks them if they have any proof that he did this. And if they want to blame his daughter, then how can Kumala commit such murders when she cannot even walk properly? At first, even Sojiman cannot believe that Kumala could have killed all those children. But then he remembers that sometimes Kumala suddenly starts walking and behaves in strange ways. This makes him wonder if Kumala really could have done it. But another question troubles him. If Kumala was locked inside the dungeon at night, then how did she go outside? Thinking about this, Sojiman goes to the dungeon. There, he finds a large hole that has been covered with sacks. Seeing this, he finally realizes that Kumala has been escaping from there. Now Sojiman becomes convinced that his daughter is connected to all these murders. At this moment, Kumala's mother speaks out for the first time in fear. She tells him that these murders were not done by Kumala. They were done by Sumala's spirit. To make him believe her, she says that she has seen Sumala's spirit with her own eyes. Now Sojiman wants to know the truth directly from Kumala. He goes to Kumala's room and promises that if she tells him the truth, he will not harm her. He asks her who is really behind all these killings. Kumala finally reveals that Sumala's spirit is responsible for everything. She says that she tried many times to stop Sumala, but Sumala refused to listen. Kumala also says that Sumala promised her one thing. She would kill everyone who ever hurt or troubled Kumala. Hearing this, Sojiman becomes terrified because he knows very well that he is the one who tortured Kumala the most. Out of fear, he goes downstairs and orders his servants to lock Kumala inside the dungeon even more tightly. He wants to make sure she cannot move and that Sumala's spirit cannot use her body again. After this, Sojiman goes to a shaman for help. The shaman begins chanting magical spells and tries to understand why this spirit is attached to Kumala. Through his vision, the shaman sees everything. He learns how Sojiman's wife made a contract with a demon just to have children. The shaman then tells Sojiman about the entire deal. He reveals that all of this started because his wife made a dark agreement, and that agreement was broken. We also learn that today is Kumala and Sumala's 9th birthday. When Sum comes to give Kumala a birthday gift, Kumala gives her a warning instead. Kumala tells Sum that her gift should be to stay away from her today. She says Sumala has told her that after midnight, she will kill everyone present in the house. Kumala says she does not want Sumala to harm Sum. After hearing this, Sum becomes afraid and decides to leave the house with her son. Her son asks why they are leaving because they have everything in this house. But Sum does not answer him. She simply takes him away, knowing that something terrible is about to happen. That night, one of Sojiman's servants comes to give food to Kumala. But Kumala does not like the food and asks him to change it. Instead of listening, the servant misbehaves with her. At that moment, Kumala picks up a cockroach lying nearby and eats it in a strange and disgusting way, as if she now finds it tasty. Seeing this, the servant becomes disturbed and frightened. The scene then shifts to Sojiman and the shaman, where Sojiman asks him how to fix everything. Suddenly, the shaman's eyes turn white and he becomes terrified. He tells Sojiman that tonight, the demon, through Sumala, has completely taken control of Kumala. The shaman warns him that Sumala will destroy everything. To reduce her power, he gives Sojiman a dagger and tells him to bring Kumala to him. The shaman says that if Sojiman can weaken her and bring her there, he will handle the rest. But if Kumala escapes from his hands and he cannot bring her back, then there is only one option left. He must stab the dagger into Kumala's heart and kill her on the spot. According to the shaman, they cannot allow the devil's child to remain in the human world because she will keep killing people again and again. Meanwhile, Kumala has already freed herself with Sumala's help. She comes outside the servant's room and pretends to cry. The same servant who treated her badly comes toward her and tries to catch her. But Kumala suddenly attacks him and tries to kill him. The servant becomes terrified and runs away. Kumala begins chasing him through the house. The man tries to escape by locking himself behind a door, but Kumala stabs through it and breaks it open. Then she enters the room and continues hunting him. As he runs to save his life, Kumala spins the knife and throws it at him from behind. The knife pierces his body, and he dies there immediately. After this, we see Kumala's mother waking up because of the sound of the piano. When she comes downstairs, she sees Kumala sitting there and playing the piano. The moment Kumala sees her mother, she suddenly runs toward her in a strange and terrifying way, holding a knife in her hand. But when her mother looks into the mirror, she sees the truth. It is Sumala who is controlling Kumala and forcing her to do all these horrifying things. Seeing the truth in the mirror, Kumala's mother realizes that Sumala is the one controlling her daughter. Terrified, she begins apologizing to Sumala while slowly stepping backward. As she moves back, she suddenly sees the dead body of the servant. At that moment, she understands that Sumala will not spare her either. Out of fear, she runs into her room, locks the door, and pushes a stool in front of it. But Kumala follows her and begins stabbing the door again and again with the dagger. After forcing the door open, Kumala enters the room. Her mother keeps apologizing and begging for mercy, but Sumala shows no kindness through Kumala's body. Kumala stabs the dagger into her mother's leg, making her scream in pain. Her mother now knows that Sumala has completely taken control of Kumala. With no other option left, she makes one final request. She tells Sumala that before she dies, she wants to speak to Kumala one last time. Hearing this, Sumala briefly loses control over Kumala's body. Kumala's mother immediately apologizes to her daughter. She admits that she allowed Kumala to suffer only to protect herself. She says that she stayed silent whenever Kumala was tortured because she was afraid of Sojiman. Then she accepts that she was a terrible mother. Kumala becomes emotional after hearing her mother's apology. For a moment, it looks like she wants to forgive her. But before that can happen, Sumala takes control of Kumala's body again. This time, she kills Kumala's mother by cutting her hands and repeatedly stabbing her body. By this time, Sojiman has returned home. When he enters the house, he first sees the dead body of his servant, and then he finds his wife's dead body. Seeing his wife dead, Sojiman is completely shattered. He understands that all of this began because he killed Sumala and treated Kumala with cruelty. He realizes that his wife is now paying the price for his sins. While he is lost in guilt and shock, he suddenly hears the sound of a chair shaking inside his room. When he goes to check, he sees Kumala sitting there, while Sumala's spirit is shaking the chair. The moment he sees them, Sumala enters Kumala's body again.
Now fully possessed, Kumala begins walking toward her father to kill him. Sojiman quickly runs out of the house to save himself. He rushes into the village, beats the drum, and wakes everyone up. After the villagers gather, he tells them that his wife and servant have been killed. The villagers immediately go to Sojiman's house. When they see the two dead bodies, they are shocked and saddened. But Sojiman does not tell them that Kumala killed them. Instead, he only asks everyone to find Kumala, saying that she must be taken to a shaman. Hearing this, the villagers quickly understand the truth. They realize that Kumala must have killed Sojiman's wife and servant. They also remember that many children in the village were killed in the same way. Because of this, the villagers become furious and decide to kill Kumala. But Sojiman knows that Kumala should not be killed carelessly. Before he can properly explain the danger to everyone, the villagers leave to search for her. Now, Sojiman himself goes looking for Kumala. He carries a dagger, a rope, and a few other things, hoping to capture her and take her to the shaman. As he walks ahead, he suddenly sees Kumala. But the next moment, she runs toward the forest. Sojiman follows her into the fields. Suddenly, Kumala attacks him from the darkness. To protect himself, Sojiman grabs a nearby stone and hits Kumala on the head. She falls unconscious in front of him. For a moment, Sojiman wants to kill her, but he cannot do it. Deep inside, he knows that Kumala is not truly responsible for everything that happened. He believes the real fault belongs to Sumala's spirit and the broken deal made by his wife. At the same time, he feels deep regret for never loving Kumala as his daughter. Unable to control his emotions, Sojiman breaks down and cries. Then he puts Kumala inside a sack and tries to carry her away. But suddenly, Kumala disappears from the sack. In the confusion, it is revealed that she has escaped again, and she moves towards Sojiman to attack him. This time, Sojiman decides that he cannot let things go out of control. He takes the dagger and stabs Kumala in the heart. Kumala falls to the ground, but after a few moments, she wakes up again, laughing in a terrifying way. Sojiman is completely confused. Then Kumala reveals that ever since Sumala entered her body, her entire body has changed. She explains that her heart has shifted from the left side to the right side. Because Sojiman did not stab her real heart, neither Kumala nor Sumala died. Now Sumala attacks her father. First, she takes the dagger from his hand and slits his stomach so brutally that his intestines come out. After that, she picks up two small stones from the ground and stabs them into Sojiman's eyes. The next morning, the villagers find Sojiman's dead body hanging from a cross, exactly the same way he had once punished Kumala. After this, the story returns to the present. We see the man who has been narrating this entire past to the villagers. It is revealed that this man is actually Sum's son, the same boy who left Sojiman's house with his mother that night. Because of that, both his life and his daughter's life were saved. He tells the villagers that if children are still dying, then it means Sumala is still alive in this village. He says that to save all the children, they must somehow find Sumala, capture her, and kill her. Until Sumala is found, he warns the villagers not to let their children go outside at night. Everyone accepts his warning and returns home. That night, we see the father of the child who was killed by Sumala at the beginning of the movie. He does not believe the man's story at all. He still thinks that Abdi is responsible for his child's death. So at night, he goes near Abdi's house, planning to kill him. But when he reaches there, he sees Sumala. She is eating the body of a dead man. The movie ends with this terrifying scene, revealing that Sumala is still alive. It also says that this story is believed to be based on a true incident from a village near central Java in Indonesia. Because of this legend, the people in that village still do not allow their children to go outside at night.